Hello, beautiful people. Today I wanted to share my thoughts about why it can be sometimes difficult to focus during meditation. There's a lot of information online about how to relax and be still during meditation, which is very valid. And the most common one, which I agree with 100%, is when your mind wanders, come bring it back to your breath, if breath is your practice in meditation. And I agree with it. However, when we continue doing that, there might still be difficult to really focus on our meditation. And I just want to share my thoughts with it. Why is it that these thoughts seem to be non-stop and these feelings of anxiety come up? That was the case with me. And despite what you do, and it can be very frustrating. And I wanted to talk about how to remedy it, really, because despite what we do, everybody's different. Despite how hard we try to relax, and we have the technical aspects in place, our mind really wanders. And one of the common things that was the case with me has something to do much deeper than the just technical aspect of it. And it may have to do with your past experiences in life and generally your worldview, right? So if you come from a difficult place or you had some sort of difficult childhood, which a lot of us do, including myself, subconsciously there are a lot of issues that may interfere with your practice. Interfere is not the right word because it is really part of your practice to deal with those things, in my opinion. So a lot of times when you can't stop thinking and you can't go deeper in your practice and you feel anxiety that just won't go away, it might have something to do with deeper issues in your subconscious mind. It most of the time does with me. And the reason of it is you might have a completely wrong worldview, or not completely wrong. You might have a worldview based on your past experiences, of which is 95% subconscious. But maybe, for example, the world is not a safe place, right? And if you subconsciously, in your gut feeling, without you fully knowing, without you being aware, feel that on the deepest level, the world is not a safe place, then you probably won't be able to relax easily in your practice, right? Or it might be something else, like no matter how hard I try, I don't get anywhere. Maybe it is part of your trauma from your childhood, from your adult life. Who knows? These are just general examples. But even with a case like that, if you think that, oh my God, I'm no good, I will never succeed in life, for example, I will never succeed, something always goes wrong, I'm not good enough, I will never reach enlightenment, who am I to want enlightenment? The list goes on and on, and trust me, a lot of those have been on my list. But the thing is that if we just focus on the technicality of it and wonder why it's not working out, well, there might be something else pulling you under the water, so to speak, and that might be those issues that come up, and they're very, very subtle. I know a few weeks ago, I had a resistance and I had to break through the resistance. And I think for 3 days, I had this intense feeling anxiety and dread in my belly area. And and it became apparent to me that it was something subconsciously that I dealt with it, and it came up to the conscious level. And it probably was always there. I just wasn't aware of it. And that's how things work usually, subconsciously. So there might be something holding you back in your subconscious mind. It might very well be your worldview or the way you see yourself or the world or yourself that is not in a safe place. And for me, in order to go deeper in my meditation practice, I still have to find a safe place, right? We have to feel safe in our practice. We have to feel safe in our body. We have to feel safe in the world. And a lot of us don't feel safe in the world subconsciously. Yes, we might be dashing. Yes, we might be confident. But if at some point in time we experience some sort of helplessness, for example, which was big for me, that feeling of helplessness might be lurking somewhere in your subconscious mind, and it might be interfering with your meditation. Do not worry, there's ways to deal with it. I have a video on the felt sense, and I have explained it many times. So we have to use the felt sense to see what's causing this lack of relaxation and go deeper and find its roots and deal with those roots that are causing the lack of relaxation. It's not easy. It's not immediate, but I assure you, it's very, very rewarding. It has been for me, certainly. So instead of thinking, why isn't meditation working with me? How come I still have these thoughts after such a long time? And it's normal. It's part of a practice. There are ups and downs. But one of the things that I had to find out, particularly in the last month or so, is that your worldview really affects you see reality. And that reality that you see, if it's subconsciously not safe, then you probably won't relax. And that was the case with me. Or if you feel helpless somehow because you were in a helpless situation without being able to escape, maybe you were bullied in school, maybe you experienced lack of love growing up, maybe as an adult you went through a hard breakup and it affected you psychologically, then it is worthwhile to go deeper and see what those issues are. And not to be afraid, they can be dealt with, and it's a very freeing experience. So with my experience, there's meditation and you have this resistance and you just go and it's hard to continue. But if you persist, you go through past that resistance and all of a sudden your meditation goes much, much deeper. I'm pointing out, but this really goes deeper in relaxation. So yeah, your worldview, the way you see yourself, the way you see the world, the way you see your practice, the way you see enlightenment, all those things really, in my experience, play a big role in how you can relax and in meditation and your general practice of meditation. So yeah, I would strongly suggest to practice the felt sense. If you do not feel safe in your practice, then thoughts usually come up. And very often for me, while I had these continuous thoughts, it's really a form of dissociation, I think is called in trauma, where you dissociate because deep down you just experience pain with reality as it is. So you keep thinking about other things to sort of distract yourself. And it's normal and it can be dealt with. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. So to conclude, one of the reasons why you may not be able to go deeper in your practice, or just generally in life you feel anxious or have to think all the time, might be because you do not feel safe in the world and in your practice. And in order to do that, you have to see what's causing it and deal with it and heal those parts of yourself. And once you do that, then no problem. You can go deeper in your practice and you can have a more meaningful, enjoyable, and beautiful life. All right, thanks for listening and looking forward to talking to you next time. Bye.